The Galactic Empire was one of the most powerful forces in the galaxy. Their fleets were vast, their weapons unimaginable, and their technology far beyond anything humanity could conceive. For millennia, they had conquered planets, enslaved species, and crushed any resistance with ruthless efficiency. The thought of Earth, a relatively young and unremarkable planet, even posing a threat was laughable. To the Empire, humans were a fleeting blip on the galactic radar, a species with primitive tools and weapons, nothing more than an amusing curiosity. The Empire's leaders often mocked the human military, especially the small fighter jets and bombers used by Earth's forces. These machines, which humans called aircraft, were no match for the Empire's advanced starships, whose firepower could level cities in a matter of minutes. The aliens found it almost endearing that the humans thought their jets were a deterrent, a symbol of their strength. The Empire's spies had been monitoring Earth for years, collecting data on human technology, and the results were always the same. Humanity had no chance. Their aircraft were slow, fragile, and incapable of defending against a fraction of the Empire's weaponry. Despite the Empire's arrogance, the humans continued to develop and refine their aircraft. Pilots trained day and night, learning to push their machines to the limits of their capabilities. But the aliens didn't care. To them, it was a futile effort. They sent scouts to watch the human military drills, laughing at how primitive the tactics seemed compared to the Empire's strategic genius. The humans were just too small and insignificant for the Empire to take seriously. But the mocking didn't stop there. In one of their communications to Earth, the Empire's supreme leader, a towering alien with translucent skin and multiple eyes, scoffed at humanity's attempts to build weapons of war. "You are nothing but insects," the leader said, his voice echoing in the transmission. "Your technology is outdated, your weapons laughable. A single strike from our ships would eradicate your so-called air force in seconds. You cannot even fathom the power we wield." His tone was condescending, almost bored. It was clear that the Empire had no respect for humanity. The leader's words were broadcast across the galaxy, and they made their way to Earth. The transmission was meant to intimidate, to break the will of the human race, but it had the opposite effect. On Earth, it sparked a fire, a burning desire to prove the Empire wrong. The idea that humans could never stand up to such overwhelming power was not acceptable. It was time for humanity to show the Empire that they had underestimated them in the worst possible way. Behind the scenes, human scientists and engineers had been working on a secret project for years. A project so classified that not even the highest-ranking military officials were aware of its existence. It was called the Superjet, and it was humanity's answer to the Empire's mocking. The Superjet was not just another fighter plane. It was a technological marvel, a blend of cutting-edge engineering and military innovation that was designed to push the boundaries of human capability. The Superjet was built to be faster, more maneuverable, and more powerful than anything the humans had ever seen. Its engines were capable of speeds that seemed impossible for a machine of its size. Its weapon systems were equipped with energy-based projectiles capable of slicing through even the toughest of materials. And its design was optimized for both aerial combat and deep space maneuvers, making it the most versatile aircraft ever created. The human engineers had poured everything they had into the project, knowing that the fate of their planet might depend on it. While the Empire mocked humanity's aircraft, they were oblivious to the Superjet's existence. Earth kept it hidden, its secrets well guarded in an underground facility, where only a select few knew of its potential. The Empire, confident in its superiority, never suspected that Earth was capable of such an achievement. After all, how could a species with such primitive technology develop something so advanced? To the Empire, it was unthinkable. Yet, in the silence of their underestimation, the humans were ready. The Superjet wasn't just a weapon, it was a symbol of everything humanity stood for: ingenuity, resilience, and the unwavering belief that no challenge was too great. For years, the humans had trained pilots in secret, preparing them for the day they would have to face the Empire's might. The pilots knew the stakes were high, but they had something the Empire lacked: determination. The time would come when the Superjet would emerge from the shadows, ready to prove that humanity was not to be underestimated. The Empire, in all its arrogance, would soon learn that even the smallest of species could change the course of the galaxy. The humans had one chance, and they would make it count. But for now, the Galactic Empire continued to mock, to belittle the human race. They saw no threat, no reason to take any action against Earth. As far as they were concerned, humanity was nothing more than a fleeting joke, a footnote in the annals of the galaxy. The Empire believed that their vast fleets, their overwhelming power, and their centuries of domination were all they needed to maintain control. What they didn't realize was that while they were busy underestimating humanity, Earth was quietly preparing for the most unexpected and powerful strike the galaxy had ever seen. The superjet would be the harbinger of a new era, one where the Galactic Empire would learn, too late, that humanity was not to be taken lightly. Humanity's path toward confronting the Galactic Empire had always seemed like an impossible dream. Earth, with its small resources and limited technology, was no match for the vast and powerful alien force. But as the Empire's mocking continued, Earth's leaders knew they had to act. The superjet, a project shrouded in secrecy, was the result of years of tireless work, engineering genius, and an unshakable determination to prove that humanity was capable of more than the Empire ever imagined. The superjet wasn't built to be a mere weapon. It was designed as a response to the Empire's cruelty, a testament to human resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. The project was born from the darkest corners of Earth's military minds, who knew that the only way to survive was to create something so formidable that even the Empire would have no choice but to respect it. Engineers worked around the clock, pulling resources from every corner of the planet. They knew that they had only one shot at making this work. Failure wasn't an option. The design was like nothing humanity had ever seen. The superjet was powered by a new type of energy core, capable of generating a level of propulsion far beyond anything previously achieved. Its engines were designed to reach speeds that defied the laws of physics, capable of outrunning even the Empire's fastest ships. The structure was reinforced with a metal alloy that could withstand the harshest environments, while its weapon systems were capable of firing devastating energy beams that could slice through the toughest armor the Empire had ever created. But the most revolutionary feature was its artificial intelligence. The superjet wasn't just a machine, it was an extension of its pilot, a partner in combat. The AI could predict enemy movements, adapt to changing battlefield conditions, and assist the pilot in making decisions in real time. It was a game changer, giving humanity a fighting chance against a foe that had never been challenged before. At the heart of the superjet's development was a team of brilliant scientists and engineers, working tirelessly to make their vision a reality. Among them was Captain Aidan Brooks, a seasoned fighter pilot with years of experience in Earth's Air Force. He had seen firsthand the power of the Galactic Empire's forces, and he knew that humanity needed more than just a weapon, they needed a symbol. The superjet, with its cutting-edge technology and unmatched firepower, would be that symbol. It would be humanity's declaration that they would not go quietly into the night. Brooks had been selected to pilot the superjet, not just for his skill as a pilot, but because he embodied the spirit of human resilience. He had survived countless battles, always pushing forward, always fighting back. He was the perfect candidate to lead the charge against the Empire. But even Brooks knew that the mission would be nearly impossible. The odds were stacked against them. The Empire had fleets of ships, advanced weaponry, and technology that made Earth's forces look like children's toys. Yet, as he stood in the cockpit of the superjet for the first time, he felt a surge of hope. The jet was unlike anything he had ever flown. The moment he sat down in the cockpit, he felt a connection to the machine. The AI, which had been designed to enhance the pilot's capabilities, immediately synced with his thoughts. Brooks could feel the jet responding to him, anticipating his every move. It was as if the superjet was alive, and for the first time, Brooks felt that humanity had a fighting chance. The first flight was a revelation. The superjet accelerated faster than anything Brooks had ever experienced, its engines roaring to life as they pushed the craft to speeds that seemed impossible. As he flew through Earth's atmosphere, the jet's maneuverability became apparent. It could perform sharp turns, sudden dives, and rapid ascents, all while maintaining perfect control. Brooks knew that the superjet was more than just a machine. It was an extension of his will, a tool that would allow him to take on the Empire's might. But there was more to the superjet than its speed and maneuverability. The jet was equipped with a weapon system capable of devastating precision. Brooks tested the weapons, firing energy blasts at targets from miles away, watching as the blasts cut through metal and rock with ease. The power was overwhelming, and it was clear that the superjet was more than just a match for the Empire's forces. It was capable of turning the tide of any battle. As Brooks and his team conducted more test flights, the full potential of the superjet became clear. The AI learned from every move Brooks made, adjusting its calculations in real time to ensure maximum efficiency. The jet systems were constantly evolving, making it smarter and more capable with each mission. Brooks realized that the superjet wasn't just a response to the Empire's mocking. It was humanity's answer to the galaxy's greatest threat. Yet, despite the superjet's capabilities, there was a lingering question in Brooks' mind. Would it be enough? The Empire's forces were vast, their power unimaginable. The superjet could take on a single enemy, perhaps even a small fleet, but could it truly challenge the might of the Empire? Brooks had no choice but to trust in the jet, in his team, and in humanity's ability to rise to the occasion. This was Earth's one shot, and they had to make it count. In the final stages of preparation, the world watched as the superjet was deployed. It was not just a weapon, it was a symbol of hope, a declaration that humanity would fight, no matter the odds. Earth's leaders knew that this was the moment of truth. If the superjet failed, humanity would be lost. If it succeeded, the Galactic Empire would have no choice but to acknowledge that Earth was not a planet to be trifled with. The superjet's first mission would be a test of everything humanity had worked for. It would be a test of the jet's capabilities, of the resolve of its pilot, and of humanity's determination to protect its home. The Empire had mocked them, belittled them, and underestimated them at every turn. But now, the tables were about to turn. Humanity's secret weapon had arrived, and it was time to show the galaxy that Earth would not be erased without a fight. The Galactic Empire's response was swift. After years of mocking humanity, they finally decided to act, sending a massive fleet to Earth, intent on annihilating the planet and erasing any trace of human resistance. The Empire believed that a single strike would be enough to end the threat. Earth was still small, its military forces vastly inferior, and the Empire had no reason to believe that a few primitive jets could stop them. They were wrong. When the superjet was launched into the battle, it marked the beginning of a new era. The pilot, Captain Aidan Brooks, was determined to show the Empire that humanity was not to be underestimated. His mission was clear: destroy the invading fleet, push the Empire back, and prove that Earth was a force to be reckoned with. The Empire's arrogance had blinded them to the power that humanity had developed in secret. Now it was time to reveal that power. Brooks' first encounter with the Empire's fleet was nothing short of a revelation. The aliens had expected the usual human resistance: ineffective, disorganized, and easily crushed. What they didn't expect was the sheer speed and firepower of the superjet. As Brooks engaged the first wave of enemy ships, he felt the power of the jet surge beneath him. The AI system that powered the superjet guided him with precision, anticipating enemy movements before they happened. The ship's advanced weaponry tore through the alien vessels with deadly accuracy, a combination of lasers and energy projectiles that sliced through shields and armor as if they were made of paper. The Empire's fleet was momentarily thrown into chaos. Their ships, designed for space battles, were not prepared for the sheer speed and maneuverability of the superjet. While the Empire's vessels lumbered through space, Brooks was like a phantom, darting in and out of their range with lightning-fast moves. Each strike from the superjet caused massive damage, with alien ships exploding in violent bursts of energy. The Empire's arrogance faltered for the first time. They had believed that Earth was insignificant, but the reality was far different. Humanity was fighting back, and they were winning. The Empire responded by sending more ships, larger and more heavily armed, in an attempt to overwhelm the superjet. But Brooks was relentless. He used the jet's speed to stay one step ahead, evading enemy fire while picking off ship after ship with deadly precision. Every time an alien ship was destroyed, it sent a shockwave of fear through the Empire's ranks. They had never faced an adversary like this before. For all their technology and superiority, they had never encountered a force as unpredictable and resourceful as humanity. But Brooks wasn't just fighting for victory. He was fighting for survival. He knew that if the Empire's fleet wasn't stopped, Earth would be doomed. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Each successful strike brought humanity closer to a miraculous victory, but the danger was far from over. The Empire's forces were vast, and their retaliation was inevitable. As the battle raged on, Brooks found himself in the middle of a desperate fight for Earth's future. His communication systems buzzed with updates, and the AI constantly adapted to new threats, predicting enemy movements with terrifying accuracy. But Brooks had to make a decision. The Empire's forces were closing in on Earth's atmosphere, and the only way to stop them was to strike at the heart of their operation, their flagship. This was the moment that would determine everything. If the flagship was destroyed, it would cripple the Empire's forces, possibly forcing them to retreat. Brooks could feel the weight of the decision pressing down on him. The superjet was capable of taking down a single ship, but could it defeat the heart of the Empire's fleet? The flagship was equipped with the most advanced defenses the Empire had, and the chances of surviving an assault on it were slim. But humanity had no choice. Brooks set a course for the flagship, rallying his team for a final, decisive strike. The tension in the cockpit was palpable as Brooks prepared for what would undoubtedly be the most dangerous mission of his life. The superjet had already proven its worth, but now it was time to see if it could take down the heart of the Empire. As the superjet closed in on the flagship, the Empire's defenses intensified. The flagship's shields were impenetrable to most conventional weapons, but the superjet wasn't conventional. Brooks engaged the jet's most powerful weapon, a devastating energy beam capable of cutting through even the most advanced shields. The Empire fired back, but the superjet's speed allowed Brooks to dodge and weave, evading the barrage of laser fire aimed at him. The final approach was nothing short of a gamble. Brooks fired the energy beam, and for a moment, everything seemed to slow down. The beam struck the flagship's shield, creating a blinding flash of light. The shield held for a moment, but then the beam tore through, striking the heart of the ship's power core. The explosion was massive, sending shockwaves through space. The flagship was crippled, its systems failing as the superweapon brought it to its knees. The Empire's fleet, once so confident in its ability to destroy Earth, was now in disarray. The flagship's destruction sent ripples of panic through the alien forces. The humans had done the unthinkable. They had destroyed the heart of the Empire's invasion force. The remaining ships began to retreat, disorganized and in full retreat. The victory was overwhelming, but the cost was immense. Brooks knew that the battle was not over. The Empire might retreat for now, but they would not forget the humiliation they had just suffered. The superjet, battered but victorious, soared through space as the remnants of the Empire's fleet fled. Brooks knew that this was a turning point in humanity's history. The Galactic Empire had underestimated Earth at every turn, and now they had learned a hard lesson. Humanity would not bow down. The fight wasn't over, but this battle had been won. Brooks and his team had proven that even the mightiest empire could be brought to its knees by the will of a determined species. Earth had just taken its first steps into the galaxy as a force to be reckoned with. In the aftermath of the battle, Earth stood at the precipice of a new era. The Galactic Empire's fleet, once thought invincible, had been shattered by the superjet, a singular achievement of human ingenuity and resilience. The destruction of the Empire's flagship sent shockwaves across the galaxy, signaling that Earth was no longer a weak, insignificant planet. It was a power to be reckoned with. But the victory, though monumental, was only the beginning. The Empire would not simply forget the humiliation they had suffered, and Earth knew that they were not yet safe. Humanity's first true victory in space had shaken the foundation of the Empire's dominance. The Galactic Empire, for the first time in its long reign, had been forced to retreat. They had been pushed back by a species they had long underestimated, a species they had dismissed as inconsequential. But the Empire's arrogance was their downfall. They failed to recognize that humans, in their defiance, were capable of things they could never imagine. Captain Aidan Brooks, the pilot of the superjet, stood in the aftermath of the battle, reflecting on what had just transpired. His hands trembled slightly as he removed his helmet, the weight of the victory and its implications settling in. He had been part of something far bigger than himself. The superjet, in its power and precision, had proven that humanity was not just a footnote in the galaxy. They had sent a message to the Empire: Earth would not be erased, and humanity would fight for its survival at any cost. But even as Brooks stood victorious, he knew the Empire would not take this defeat lightly. They were a vast, powerful force, and one loss would not break their spirit. Earth's victory had drawn attention from every corner of the galaxy. Allies and enemies alike would now watch closely, wondering what humanity's next move would be. Brooks understood that while they had won the battle, the war was far from over. The Galactic Empire would regroup, rebuild, and return with even greater force. But humanity's resilience had been proven, and that would be their greatest weapon. In the following days, Earth's leaders met to discuss the aftermath of the battle. The victory had united the planet in a way that no other event ever had. Nations that once fought amongst themselves now stood together, united by the common goal of defending their planet. The superjet, with its advanced technology, was now the centerpiece of Earth's military defense, and its creators were hailed as heroes. The project that had once been a secret was now a symbol of human achievement. Yet, even as Earth celebrated its newfound strength, there was an underlying sense of caution. The Empire was far from defeated. Earth's leaders knew that the war was not over, and the battle with the Empire would continue. The Galactic Empire had vast resources, and they would undoubtedly rebuild their fleet, strengthening their forces to ensure that humanity would not pose a threat again. Earth had struck a blow, but the Empire's retribution would come, and it would be swift and brutal. In the months that followed, humanity prepared for the inevitable. The superjet, though powerful, was only one weapon in their arsenal. Earth scientists and engineers, inspired by their success, began working on new technologies, building stronger defenses, and creating more advanced weapons. The knowledge gained from the battle against the Empire was invaluable. Humanity was no longer a species on the brink of extinction. They were now a force capable of standing up to the most powerful empire in the galaxy. Captain Brooks continued to lead the efforts, training new pilots and preparing them for the challenges ahead. The superjet was no longer a symbol of hope. It had become a tool for survival. Brooks, along with his team, knew that the next confrontation with the Empire would be more dangerous than the last. The Galactic Empire would not forget their humiliation, and Earth had to be ready for the full force of their retaliation. As Earth's preparations continued, the Empire, nursing its wounds, began to regroup. The defeat at the hands of humanity had left a bitter mark on their pride. The Empire's leaders knew they could not let this insult go unanswered. They began planning their next move, not just to destroy Earth, but to crush the very spirit that had allowed humanity to rise against them. They would use their most advanced technologies, their deadliest weapons, and their greatest armies to eliminate the human threat once and for all. But even as the Empire prepared to strike back, humanity's resolve remained unshaken. Earth had already proven that it could stand against the Empire. The destruction of the flagship had shown that even the most powerful force in the galaxy could be defeated. The Empire had learned a valuable lesson: never underestimate the human spirit. In the months that followed, Earth continued to strengthen its defenses, readying itself for the next battle. The superjet remained at the forefront of the fight, but it was now joined by new technologies and strategies, all developed with the goal of ensuring that Earth would never be caught off guard again. Humanity had tasted victory, and they were determined not to lose it. The Galactic Empire's next strike would come, but Earth would be ready. The war was far from over, but humanity had proven that it could fight, and it would continue to fight until the Empire was no more. The message had been sent across the galaxy: Earth would not bow to anyone, not even the mightiest empire the galaxy had ever known. The fight for survival had only just begun, but humanity had already proven that they were capable of winning. The Empire had made a grave mistake, and now, they would learn the true power of a species that refused to be defeated.